What if I told you that your life is about to change, but you haven't even noticed the signs yet? These signs are all around you, in coincidences, in your emotions, in the challenges you thought were insurmountable. If you've ever felt like something big is coming your way, but you don't know when or how, then this video is for you. Stay with me, because what you're about to discover could transform the way you view every challenge, every moment, and every breath of your life. Let's start with this first sign that you should never ignore: patience before the breakthrough. Do you remember that seed you planted? Perhaps months, perhaps years before? You had forgotten it. You had believed it would never see the light of day. You had thought that your efforts, your prayers, and your tears had dissipated into nothingness. And yet, beneath the earth, in the absolute silence of the invisible, life was stirring. It was growing, slowly, surely. Each root thread penetrated deeper into the earth, each bud prepared to break through, until the day the first light would be ready to welcome it. That seed is exactly what your heart, your intentions, and your sincere efforts represent. How many times have you believed that your work to improve your faith, to rectify your mistakes, to purify your thoughts and your soul was in vain? How many nights have you spent praying, begging, asking for guidance and clarity, wondering if your words truly reached heaven? And yet, in that silence, in the desert of your doubts, a transformation was taking place. Never underestimate the power of invisible efforts. Every small action you have performed with sincerity, a smile offered to someone, a moment of patience, a kind word to an angry heart, is like that seed planted in the earth. At first glance, it seems insignificant. You don't see the growth happening before your eyes. But every gesture, every prayer, every tear shed in secret prepares the ground for that miracle you have been waiting for so long. And you know, there is something profoundly reassuring in this idea. Allah never leaves a sincere heart without fruit. Even when you feel like everything is against you, like life is testing you for no reason, like no solution is on the horizon, know that every struggle, every difficulty, every obstacle is actually a form of preparation. Like rain falling on dry ground, every trial nourishes the seed within you. Perhaps you've been betrayed, disappointed, abandoned. Perhaps you've lost faith in certain things, doubted your worth, or believed your efforts went unnoticed. And yet, it's precisely in these moments that the seed grows fastest. In the darkness, far from the light of day, it develops strong roots, roots capable of supporting the full weight of what is to come. And when the breakthrough comes, it's not just a victory over your circumstances, it's a victory over yourself, over your doubts, over your limitations. Look around you. How many times have you seen a brother or sister go through incredible trials, and suddenly, as if by a miracle, see their life change? It's not chance. It's not luck. It's the seeds they planted. Even in times when all seemed lost, every secret effort, every silent struggle, every moment you chose to remain steadfast despite fatigue and discouragement, all of it slowly transforms into light, into opportunities you hadn't even imagined. And what's even more fascinating is that the breakthrough never comes easily. It happens subtly, in the details you only begin to notice afterward. A word of encouragement that falls at just the right moment. A door that opens where you thought there were only walls. A sudden inspiration, a brilliant idea, an unexpected encounter. All these are the invisible fruits of your past efforts. The Almighty does not rush. He weaves each transformation meticulously, each blessing patiently, until the perfect moment when your heart is ready to receive it. You must learn to recognize these small signs. You must learn to see that what seemed like a delay, a failure, or a dead end is actually a divine preparation. When you feel that fatigue in your heart, when you sense that your strength is limited, when doubt creeps into your prayers, remember that it is precisely in this moment that the seed of your breakthrough is working most intensely. The miracle is already underway, even if your eyes cannot yet perceive it. And there is an extraordinary beauty in this truth. The miracle is not measured by the immediate grandeur of what you see. It is measured by the silent transformation taking place within you. When you finally see the light, you will understand that what was sown in pain, patience, and secrecy is far stronger than you could ever have imagined. Every tear served as fertilizer. Every invisible effort built the strength of your future. 2. Pains that teach. Have you ever noticed that certain pains, certain trials, return to your life like stubborn waves that never stop hitting you? Perhaps you thought you had moved forward, that you had overcome certain wounds, and yet they return. They appear in different forms. A failure you thought you had overcome, an unexpected betrayal, a fear you thought you had mastered, or that persistent feeling that something is missing in your heart, something you cannot name. And you wonder, why? Why does it come back again and again? Why do these shadows continue to haunt your mind when you thought they had left you? It is in these moments that the Almighty speaks most clearly to your soul, even if your human ears cannot hear it. Every repeated pain, every worry that sets in, every inner crisis is a subtle lesson. They are not punishments, nor absurd coincidences. They are signals, delicate messages that invite you to observe your heart with sincerity. They say to you, prepare yourself, for something great is coming for you. Imagine your heart as an ancient chest, locked by rusty chains of doubt, fear, and pain. These trials, these persistent worries, are like invisible hands, slowly working to loosen these chains. Sometimes they only seem to rub at the rust, create small cracks, and hurt you without you understanding why. But each time, a new wave of pain arises, part of the lock loosens. And soon, this ancient chest, which seemed impenetrable, will finally be able to open to let in a light you had never imagined. These feelings of anguish, this constant tension in your mind, are not there to destroy you. They are there to purify your vision. Every worry you carry, every fear you fight, every sense of despair you experience acts like a filter on your soul. This filter gradually eliminates the illusion, the attachment to ephemeral things, and the distractions that distract you from what is truly meant for you. And when the filter has done its work, what remains is pure, clear, ready to receive guidance and blessing. Look at those moments when everything seems to be crumbling around you. Perhaps you've lost a job, a relationship, an opportunity, or even what you thought was inner peace. Perhaps you felt the whole world turning its back on you. And in those moments, your heart is compelled to turn to Him. It's as if the darkness is forcing you to look up into the light. This darkness, this sense of collapse, is precisely the Almighty's way of preparing your mind to welcome what is great and pure. For too much light cannot enter a heart full of distractions and human certainties. It can only enter a heart opened by pain, by loss, and by sincere searching. You may be asking yourself, why me? Why do I still have to feel this anguish? The answer is simple yet profound. Because you are being shaped. Because your soul is not only meant to survive, it is meant to rise. Because every crisis you experience, every inner struggle, is a personalized lesson that the Almighty has chosen for you, and only for you. No one else will receive this same teaching in the same way. It is a unique purification, an invisible preparation for a breakthrough that even your mind does not imagine. And what makes all this even more fascinating is that you are not alone in this experience. Your heart shares this ordeal with those who have walked before you and with those who will walk after you. And yet, this pain speaks to you individually. It touches your thoughts, your regrets, your hopes, and your prayers. It pushes you to ask questions you've never dared to ask, to reflect on truths you may have avoided, and to find an inner strength that has long been dormant. You'll begin to notice the first signs of this inner shift, an unexpected serenity in a moment of chaos, an idea or solution that comes to you as if by surprise, a newfound patience you've never experienced, or a sudden gratitude for things you took for granted. Every small inner victory, every moment when you feel your heart is less burdened by doubt, is proof that the transformation is underway. 3. Emptiness before abundance. There are times in life when you feel completely empty, when you look around and see nothing that truly speaks to you, nothing that truly touches you. Even familiar sounds seem distant. Even familiar faces seem foreign. And your heart seems to speak to itself, as if screaming into a silent space that no one else can hear. In these moments, you sometimes wonder, am I the only one feeling this weight? Am I lost? Has everything I've done been in vain? This emptiness you feel is not a sign of failure. On the contrary, it's proof that your soul is preparing to receive something greater, something transformative. Like a room emptied of all clutter before it can welcome the light, your heart is freed of everything that holds it back, of everything that burdens it, to make room for the blessing that is coming. And this blessing is never small. It is never limited to what you can imagine in your limited mind. It is often larger, brighter, and more unexpected than anything you could have hoped for. Think of those times when you felt alone, misunderstood, when you believed that no one understood the weight you were carrying. These are exactly the moments that prepare your heart. It is in this solitude that your soul is purified, your intentions clarified, and you realize that your true support comes from the one who never sleeps, the one who watches every thought, every tear, every beat of your heart. In this silence, you learn to hear the voice that truly matters, to recognize the subtle guidance that shows you the way, even when everything seems dark. Often, emptiness is frightening because we seek to fill it too quickly. We rush toward distractions, relationships, projects, ambitions, as if we could replace this inner silence with something tangible. But emptiness isn't a lack, it's a preparation. It's a sacred time when your soul learns to rest in trust, to recognize that everything that happens, even what seems delayed, is part of a divine plan. Just as the earth must remain bare before seeds can sprout, your heart must sometimes go through seasons of emptiness before blessings take root. And there's a beauty in this process that few realize. Emptiness reveals who you truly are. When distractions disappear, when the tumult of the world subsides, you come face to face with yourself, your true desires, your true intentions. There are no more masks, and no more facades, and no more pretenses. There is only you and the silent presence of the one who knows your soul better than anyone else. And it is precisely in this face-to-face encounter that change begins. For transformation can never be imposed from without. It must be born from within, in those spaces you thought were empty, lost, and useless. This emptiness acts like a mirror, reflecting your fears and wounds, but also your strength and resilience. Every tear shed in this silence, every moment of solitude, every doubt and question you carry deep in your heart, all of this is a purification. All of this is an inner work that the world cannot see, but that the one who controls all things watches closely. And when the breakthrough comes, You will realize that all that emptiness was not wasted, that all those nights spent feeling alone were actually sacred moments of preparation, spaces that the Almighty reserved to welcome the light you never imagined. And sometimes, emptiness can manifest as stagnation. You feel like nothing is moving forward, that projects aren't evolving, that the people around you keep moving forward while you stand still. But know that this is never a coincidence. This apparent stillness is a sign that your heart and soul are aligning. It's as if time itself is stopping to allow you to prepare the best version of what's coming. The breakthrough you're waiting for doesn't happen in a hurry. It happens in the careful preparation of your inner being, in the maturity of your heart and the clarity of your intentions. 4. Signs in the details. Look around you. Really? Look. You'll see that nothing is ever truly left to chance. Those little coincidences you observe and tend to forget. Those chance encounters. Those words heard just when your heart needed them most. Those inspirations that arise when you're in doubt. These are not accidents. They are subtle messages, divine imprints placed on your path so that your soul may understand, so that your heart may feel that it is never alone. Perhaps you have already experienced that strange moment when a word, a phrase, or an action seems to speak directly to what you're going through, as if the world itself has paused to show you the way. You think it's chance, and yet, every time you think back, you realize the timing was perfect. The Almighty often speaks in this silent language. He doesn't need to shout to make himself heard. He uses the details, the small touches, the coincidences that your rational mind might overlook, but that your heart instantly recognizes. Imagine your life as a vast, complex web, woven with invisible threads that you can only perceive with the sensitivity of your soul. Every encounter, every word heard, every sudden inspiration is a thread in this web. Perhaps you meet someone you haven't seen in a long time, and their words resonate with an unexpected echo in your mind. Perhaps a simple message received at a time of despair, like a tiny spark, awakens within you a forgotten certainty, a dormant strength. All these details, taken individually, may seem insignificant. But when they align, when they multiply, your heart begins to sense an invisible movement. A movement that tells you something great is about to happen. And it's not just what you see with your eyes. It's also those little feelings you can't always explain. That sudden thrill when you know deep down that you're in the right place at the right time. That persistent intuition that pushes you toward a specific action, a decision you've been hesitating to make. These subtle signs are like whispers from the Almighty to your soul, guiding you step by step toward what your heart is destined to receive. Perhaps you've experienced times when you thought everything was blocked, when nothing seemed to be moving forward, when problems seemed to pile up endlessly. And then, without warning, a small detail appears, and everything changes. A conversation that gives you courage, a piece of advice heard at an unexpected moment, a smile exchanged with a stranger who brings you immediate serenity. It is these details that, taken together, draw the invisible map of your breakthrough. And you feel deep down that a major turning point is brewing. Signs are never extravagant. They are often silent, subtle, imperceptible to those who don't take the time to listen with their hearts. A simple word, a gesture, an image, or even a silence can carry the message your soul has been waiting for. What seems insignificant can become the light that illuminates your entire path. It's an invisible dance between your destiny and your efforts, between what you seek and what is meant for you. And every time you notice one of these signs, your heart awakens. It knows that the invisible is at work, that there is an order, a plan, a divine movement that you cannot always understand, but that you can feel. Also, look at how these details repeat themselves. Perhaps you notice the same theme emerging in several aspects of your life. The same word heard, the same idea recurring, the same symbol repeating itself. It's never by chance. It is the Almighty who gently insists that you open the eyes of your soul and recognize that your transformation is underway. Each detail is a piece of the puzzle. And when you observe them as a whole, you begin to perceive the plan, the common thread, the divine energy silently working for you, even when you doubt. The most fascinating thing is that these signs don't always come from what you expect. Sometimes they come in the form of obstacles, delays, conflicts, moments of solitude. But they too are details. They teach you, prepare you, and sharpen you to receive what is to come. Every situation, every encounter, every unexpected word has its place on this invisible path to your breakthrough. And your role is to remain attentive, to remain receptive, to keep moving forward even when the world seems silent. For in that silence, transformation is secretly woven. 5. Inner action before breakthrough. You may believe that breakthroughs happen because circumstances change, problems disappear, or doors suddenly open before you. But the truth is deeper, more intimate, and much less visible. True breakthrough always begins within you. It doesn't depend on the outside world. It is born in the secrecy of your heart, in the sincerity of your intentions, in the strength of your will to transform, even when no one is watching. Think of all the times you prayed, but felt your mind distracted, your heart heavy, your soul weary, and yet you kept going. You persevered despite the weariness, despite the doubts, despite that little voice inside telling you your efforts might be in vain. These are precisely the moments when inner action occurs. Every sincere thought, every effort to draw closer to the light, every repentance spoken with an open heart, are the invisible seeds of transformation. They are slowly but surely preparing the ground for the breakthrough you've been waiting for so long to blossom. Your mindset plays a crucial role. The way you choose to think, feel, and react to challenges creates space in your heart to receive what is meant for you. When you begin to cultivate patience, strengthen your gratitude for the little things, and welcome difficulties as lessons rather than punishments, you realign your heart with the divine plan. Every time you choose to respond with kindness rather than anger, every time you choose to forgive rather than harbor resentment, you build a bridge between who you are and who the Almighty wants you to become. And there's that longing that sometimes burns in your heart, and the deep need for change, that feeling that you can no longer remain the same person. This is no accident. It's the call of your soul, awakening for transformation. It is the silent preparation of your heart to receive the revelation, to welcome the blessing that will change everything. This burning desire is a precious indicator. It shows you that you are ready to let go of what holds you back, to leave behind what no longer serves your spiritual path, and to open yourself to what the invisible has prepared for you. Reflect on each moment when you felt that inner thrill, that intuition that pushed you toward a difficult choice, toward a decision you dreaded but knew was right. It is these moments of inner action that prepare for the breakthrough. Even if you don't immediately see the fruits of your efforts, these choices shape your character, purify your intention, and strengthen your heart. It is in these moments of silent struggle that the soul awakens, faith solidifies, and the future you await begins to secretly take shape. Gratitude is another key to this inner transformation. When you begin to appreciate the small blessings, when you notice the beauty in things you once took for granted, your heart opens. And an open heart is receptive to guidance and light. It's not simply a matter of positive thinking, it's an alignment of your mind with divine wisdom. Every thought of gratitude, every smile exchanged despite difficulty, Every conscious breath you offer to Allah is an inner action that draws the breakthrough to you. Sincere repentance is also a powerful motivator. It's not just about saying words. It's about feeling deep in your heart that you wish to draw closer to the light, to purify yourself, to rectify your past mistakes. Repentance cleanses the soul, removes the invisible barriers that prevent blessings from flowing, and prepares the ground for a breakthrough that surpasses human understanding. Every tear shed in sincerity, every moment of honest regret, every effort not to repeat past mistakes, works within you to open the doors of guidance. And the fascinating thing is that this inner action doesn't always produce immediate change in the external world. Sometimes you may continue to face the same challenges, the same blockages, the same frustrations. But in those moments, remember, it's not the world that changes first. It's you. Your heart, your mind, your soul are preparing, purifying, and strengthening themselves. And when the breakthrough comes, it seems sudden, but it has been silently shaped for a long time in the invisible. 6. The light after the storm. Imagine a night that seems to never end. The winds howl around you, as if they want to sweep away everything. The rain falls relentlessly, each drop pounding the earth and your mind with the same intensity. The darkness is everywhere, oppressive, total, as if the whole world has disappeared, leaving you alone with your fears, your doubts, and your tears. And you walk, sometimes slowly, sometimes barely able to look up, wondering if this night will ever end. You wonder if your efforts, your prayers, and your sacrifices really mean anything. But here is the truth that many ignore. It is precisely in these nights of despair that the Almighty prepares light for your heart. Every trial, every sorrow, every hesitant step in the darkness is like the wind and the rain cleansing the earth, purifying the soil so that the light can finally penetrate. Nothing is left to chance. Every tear, every shudder, every moment you feel your spirit waver is an invisible sign that your soul is preparing to welcome the blessing that transforms everything. Then, suddenly, without your expectation, a light pierces the horizon. It's timid at first, just a thin thread of hope in the darkness, but it exists. And as it grows, it gradually illuminates everything it touches. You didn't see it coming. You hadn't realized it was approaching. And yet, there it is, transforming your perception of the world. The obstacles that seemed insurmountable seem less weighty. The wounds that caused you pain now seem less acute. The fog of doubt begins to dissipate, and your heart feels a clarity it hasn't known for a long time. This light isn't just an outward sign, it's a metaphor for what's happening within your soul. It represents the inner breakthrough, the transformation you've been waiting for without even realizing it. It comes after the trials you've endured, after the sleepless nights of prayer and supplication, after the moments when you thought you could no longer move forward. It is the fruit of every invisible effort you've made to remain sincere, patient, and aligned with divine guidance. Every tear shed in secret, every sincere repentance, every gesture made with a pure heart. All of this has paved the way for this light. And this light doesn't just illuminate what's around you, it changes your outlook on everything you've been through. Trials that seemed cruel become lessons. Losses become blessings in disguise. And moments of doubt become preparations for something greater. The light transforms your past, reconfigures your present, and opens the door to a future you never dared to imagine. Look at the storm you were going through. It wasn't there to break you. It was there to lift you up. It was there to strengthen your heart, purify your soul, and prepare you to welcome something greater than what your eyes could perceive. The falling rain, the howling wind, the seemingly eternal darkness. All of it was a silent ritual, precisely orchestrated to ensure that the moment of breakthrough would be perfect, complete, and lasting. And the fascinating thing is that you can't anticipate how the light will appear. It can come with a simple word, an unexpected encounter, a feeling of inner peace, or a new opportunity that changes everything. But no matter its form, it is a sign that the Almighty has heard your prayers, seen your patience, and is working in the invisible to transform your life. And what is certain is that when you feel it, you will know that the moment you've been waiting for has finally arrived. It is no longer a vague hope. It is a tangible reality in your heart. And the most beautiful thing about it all is that this light doesn't come alone. It attracts serenity, clarity, and an inner strength you never suspected. It changes the way you walk in the world, the way you view your challenges, and even the way you feel about your own heart. You begin to see that what you considered obstacles were actually stepping stones. That what you perceived as despair was actually a passage to something much brighter. So when you feel this inner transformation, this light finally piercing the darkness, remember, what you went through was never in vain. What you endured prepared your soul. And this is only the beginning. Because this light is not the end of your path. It is the opening to something greater, something miraculous, something your heart could never have imagined before you went through the storm. If these signs resonate with you, if you feel your heart is ready for a breakthrough, don't let this moment pass you by. Take a moment to reflect, to pray, to act on the opportunities that present themselves to you. And above all, share this video with someone who needs to feel this light, this message, this guidance. Because sometimes a life's breakthrough begins with a simple awareness. Subscribe, activate the bell, and stay connected, because there is still so much to discover, to nourish your soul, and welcome the transformation that the Almighty has prepared for you.